Hi, I'm Mary Katherine, and welcome to my table. You notice things look a little bit different today. I don't have my apron on. I'm not really going to do any cooking. We're going to put together a simple breakfast that's a little bit healthier, and I'll tell you why. We're going to talk a little bit in this video about what we did last week. So come join us and listen to the conversation. So last week, my husband and I celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary. And so we decided that we would do something different that we had never done before. We'd never been on a cruise. And so that's what we ended up doing for our anniversary last week. We had a lot of fun, but if you have ever been on a cruise, you know how much food there is everywhere. Food buffets, food stands, you can walk up to anytime and get whatever you want. And while we didn't go completely overboard, we did more eating than usual. And so this week we've kind of scaled it back a little bit and have tried to be a little bit healthier. So that's why we're going to put together this breakfast today. We've been kind of eating this all week. We're just doing a little bit of yogurt with some fruit and then a little breakfast mix with some nuts and granola on top of it. So you can just see how I'm putting that together here in these bowls. But we're going to talk about all the different food that we did have last week. We'll talk about different options for breakfast, for lunch, anytime. And then we're going to talk about food that we had in the dining room every night where you sit down and have a waiter. And that was a great experience. The food was all delicious. But we're going to kind of go through each night and talk about what we had. And there are definitely some dishes that we are going to try to replicate here at home, but we want you to get involved in this with us as well. And we want you to vote on which dishes you would like to see. And so whichever one you all vote that wins, we are going to replicate, and we'll make a video and show you how we handle it here at home and how it turns out. So anyway, we just thought that'd be fun for y'all, fun for us. And get some good food in the meantime. So, all right, now we got a little bit of bananas and a little bit of strawberries on our yogurt. And then we just top it off with a little sprinkle of this. I love this breakfast trail mix. It's got a lot of nuts. It's got cranberries. It's got some yogurt cranberries and a little bit of granola in it. So, let's just kind of get a little sprinkling. Just put on each bowl. Vodka and just a touch more. See. All right. So now we've got that ready. We're going to sit down and let's have this conversation. So you guys have met Darren just once or twice on little snippets of the video. But this is my husband. He's the one I went with the cruise on. He's the one I've been married to for 35 years. Yeah. So just tell them in a snapshot about the food on the cruise last week and your impressions of it.
Well, this was by far the best cruise we ever took.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So what was the question again?
Just your impression of the food on the cruise.
My impression. Oh, the food was absolutely fantastic and really enjoyed it. Of course, we've heard from a lot of folks about how good the food would be, and it really did not disappoint at all. Everything was good about it.
I would agree. If you had it to do over again, are there any different things you would do food-wise on the cruise? Because, we had options every day where, we had breakfast buffets in several different places around the ship, and we only ended up eating at 2 of those, right, which they were wonderful.
Yep.
I see no reason to think that we needed something else, but it might be nice to check out some other options. Okay, so we did that for breakfast, and then we had the more quick counter type places where we went for lunch. We were only on a 4-day cruise. We didn't know how we would like cruising since it was our first time, so we didn't want to do too long of a trip. So we only had 4 days, so that, wasn't that many options that we had for lunch every day. So we tried a few of those. There are different little cafes where you can get sandwiches and salads. Like, I really liked the Park Cafe. That was on the level with the Central Park in the cruise ship. And the Park Cafe was really good. It had the sandwich options that you could also find at another place or two. But in addition to that, it had a really good salad bar. And they fixed everything for you. So they're standing behind the counter, but you just tell them what you want. And they even had like grilled chicken, garbanzo beans, lettuce, lots of veggies. Just they could make a really good salad there if you just wanted a salad for lunch.
Yeah.
That was a good option.
That was a good option.
And then every evening, we ate in the main dining room. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute because every evening they had a different menu and we ordered off, whatever we wanted. But there were other options for dinner. I don't know if you've never been on a cruise, you may not realize this, and I really didn't either until we started planning all of this. But there are other restaurants on the cruise ship where you can pay an upcharge if you want to go eat a different dinner every night. You can eat in the main dining room with the main fee that you paid for the cruise. But you could go, there was an Italian restaurant we could have gone to eat at. Mm-hmm. There was a seafood restaurant. Was it a Japanese?
There was Japanese. Yep. There was the southern type of style of food. Mason jar, I think is what it
Yes. So if you wanted southern style comfort food. And then there was even, they had 2 train cars on the ship and they turned it into a restaurant. So it's like you're eating in a dining car in a train. And I think it was kind of like a dinner show where they even staged like a train robbery while you're eating dinner. So that would have been fun. And we would have been interested in doing that. But with it only being 2 train cars and us only being on the boat for, X number of days, a limited amount of days, it got filled up in a hurry. Yeah. There were no spots available to eat there.
And I was disappointed at that. I really wanted to try that.
Yeah, that would have been fun. And if we go again, we will jump on that quickly. But we just didn't know to do that this time.
Right.
But anyway, so all of that to say, there were lots of other options, but we just stuck to some of the main options. A couple of the breakfast buffets in the morning, some of the normal quick service places for lunch, and then we ate in the main dining room for dinner. And we were not disappointed with anything. It was all delicious.
Amazing.
So all of that said, would you do anything different the next time?
So, yes, I think I would. And the main thing that I would probably try differently is to try some of the specialty restaurants. I was very happy with the main dining and absolutely no complaints there whatsoever. But it like if we had a longer cruise, I think I would have tried some, a couple, maybe the Italian one. Mm-hmm. I definitely was interested in that train car experience. Yeah. Would have been good. I forget what it's called. And maybe the Mason jar as well, because I think they had live music, probably more our speed, the kind of music that we might listen to and enjoy. But all those things. But like the breakfast options, the buffets, I haven't changed a thing about those because they have plenty of choices. I mean, unreal about all the things that they had available. They had the omelet, stations and I think both of the dining areas that we went to, the solarium and then the Windjammer, where they both had, custom omelets.
Yeah. Tell them about the last day that we were there when we were eating breakfast.
Okay.
What we kept thinking.
So the last day, the day that we would disembark from the ship, they offered breakfast, and it was by far the busiest breakfast morning that we had experienced. So there were a lot of people there, and it was pretty early. So we had to get off the ship, I forget, I think by 7:38. And so they had opened up the breakfasts pretty early. And while we're eating, we're hearing all these alarms going off. Like an alarm would go off and say, someone forgot to turn their alarm off. And
I think that's what I said. The first time I heard it, I thought, somebody's alarm is going off because it was so early.
And then we, a couple of minutes later, heard another one. And then a couple of minutes later after that. And it was several times throughout that. And it finally figured it out that the omelet station, they would give you, after you placed your order, they would give you these beepers, kind of like you have at a restaurant when you're waiting in line. And that's what it was. The beepers were going off for people's omelets to get ready, and it was just continuous.
It was funny. So we finally figured that out. But yeah, you got an omelet the first day, and they had omelets that they would make, but they also had some on the buffet that were just pretty standard, like a ham and cheese omelet or something, and they were ready made, so you could just go ahead and pick them up off the buffet if you wanted. But if you wanted a specialty omelet, you got the beeper,
right?
But yeah, and they had foods, from all different countries, because here in America, we're very eggs and bacon kind of people. But they had all kinds of pastries. They had all kinds of hot cereals, like how do you say it, muesli? Muesli? Muesli. I don't know what
it was. Muesli.
I don't know how you say it, but anyway, they had that. They had oatmeal. They had grits, which of course we eat here in the South. I don't really consider grits a cereal, but they had it there with the hot foods like that. But then they had things that I know they eat in the UK, like they had the baked beans for breakfast. The beans. So that was interesting, and lox and bagels, and just, anything you could imagine. All kinds of fruit, yogurt.
Pastries.
Yeah, I said pastries.
You said pastries.
Yeah. So just, anything you wanted for breakfast pretty much was there. But
it was good.
Yeah, it was very good. So what was your favorite thing that you ate for lunch while we were on the ship?
We really didn't do a sit-down dining room type of lunch, so everything was quick. But as far as lunches, we tried, they had the all-you-can-eat pizza place. What was the name of that? Sorrento's?
Yes, I think so.
Sorrento's. They had the cafes that you mentioned.
The Park Cafe. We did eat there one day.
Right.
I think that's the day we came in from Nassau. We went there. That.
I think that's right. And basically, I just ended up getting some of the
You just got fruit because you'd had the comp fritters.
Yeah, great.
So I got a sandwich, and their sandwiches are really small, which I like because, that means you can try a few more things. So I got a small sandwich and some fruit, and then I ended up getting a salad that, I was talking a few minutes ago about how they fix the salad at the salad bar, and I just got a small one to go along with my sandwich. But it was really good. I enjoyed that. That was probably my favorite lunch that we did.
Right.
I think the next day we ate at the taco stand.
Yep.
And it was good.
It was all right.
Yeah. It was good for like a quick service taco stand. It was good. They had.
I think I tried the burrito. I think I'd do the taco next time.
Okay. So they had some things ready that you could just pick up. They also had bowls of chips that you could get. And then they had a little buffet over to the side with all the toppings. So you could go and fix the chips any way you wanted. Make your own nachos or chili cheese nachos, lettuce. They had sour cream, tomatoes, pico de gallo. All the toppings. I think they even had guacamole over there on that, didn't they? So I'm not a guacamole fan.
No.
But yeah, they had all that kind of stuff. So it was good. Mm-hmm. We enjoyed that. It's an outdoor place, so you're a little bit warm while you're eating if you're in a warm environment, which we were on our cruise. So,
Virtual.
But it was shaded, so you're in the shade. You're just outdoors.
Yeah.
So okay, let's go ahead and talk about dinner every night.
Yes, that was for me. That was the highlight of the whole trip.
And shout out, we had the best servers. Yep. I think all of the servers on the cruise ships are wonderful, but let's give a shout out to ours. We had Emmanuel and Ashvin.
Yep.
And they were just wonderful. They attended to everything that we wanted. Promptly, without being intrusive. They suggested things that turned out to be great. Highly recommend them. Yeah. Wonderful experience.
Well, from the cruise standpoint, the whole Royal Caribbean, which we really had talked about, it was Royal Caribbean. Utopia of the Seas was the ship that we were on.
And that's the new ship. It's huge.
It is huge.
It's so big. I think it's the biggest one on the seas right now, although they're building another one that's going to be a little bigger.
I heard second biggest, but...
Okay, maybe it is second biggest.
But anyway.
Okay, so dinner.
What do you want?
Monday night.
That was
our first night on the cruise.
That was our first night on the cruise.
You're just going to repeat everything I say?
Just about everything.
Okay. Well, okay. So let's see. What was the menu Monday night? I think you got prime rib.
I got the prime rib,
which he loves a good prime rib.
It had a little side of potatoes. I don't know if I had the green beans. I don't know if that had the green beans or not. But basically, it was prime rib with the potatoes is what I remember about that.
Okay. And they had a southern fried chicken that night with a hot honey sauce. And so that's what I got. I thought, I want to try that. I want to see how their southern fried chicken stacks up to ours here in the South. And it was good, I will say. I think ours is a little bit better, but I'm not complaining about theirs. It was delicious.
Yep.
It was very good.
Yeah.
I would get it again. Okay, so Tuesday night. Monday night. Let's finish talking about that.
Yeah.
So for dessert, we got cheesecake. We had a discussion in front of our waiter about key lime pie because it was also on the menu that night. And he grew up in Florida. Darren grew up in Florida. His mom makes a really mean key lime pie, and he loves it. So they also asked us at the beginning of the evening if we were celebrating anything, special. That happened to be our actual anniversary was on Monday. So we just told him, said, today is our 35th anniversary. He brought our dessert out, brought both of our pieces of cheesecake, and then they brought out another piece of key lime pie with a little candle in it, and they sang happy anniversary to the tune of happy birthday to us, which we could have done without that. But anyway, so that was kind of fun. So you got to try the key lime pie.
Yep.
What'd you say about it?
It was really good. Probably one of the best key lime pies I've ever had.
There you don't tell your mother.
No, I won't.
Okay, so that was Monday night. So then Tuesday, we had been in Nassau. That was our stop on Tuesday in Nassau. So it was kind of a Caribbean theme for dinner that night.
Oh, I thought it was a Caribbean thing.
Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of a Caribbean theme that night. So there was jerk pork chops on the menu.
Yep.
And a Caribbean chicken.
Which was similar to a jerk chicken, kind of.
It was similar. Yes, it was. So we got to taste both of those. We actually had both ordered the pork chops, but my waiter heard me talking about chicken, and I'm a chicken fan. I love chicken. I could eat it every day. So he ended up bringing out like a half serving of the chicken for us to try, and it was delicious. It was kind of just falling off the bones, so moist and tender. And I'll tell you this, that's one of the dishes that I am interested in trying to look up and figure out how to make here at home myself. So that was delicious. Mm-hmm. I would definitely do that again.
I would even say I think I like the chicken better than the pork. It just, the flavor was a little bit to my liking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so that's Tuesday night. So then Wednesday night, this was your favorite night.
Yep.
Tell them about Wednesday night.
Well, Wednesday night was French night. Now, I'm not a big necessarily French food type of person, and we don't have any French restaurants around here or anything like that. So it's not something that we have very often. But they had just about everything on the menu was something that I was interested in. And the appetizers especially, they had the three things I wanted to try. I wanted to try the escargot. I wanted to try the calamari because I love calamari. I love seafood. And then they also had a French onion soup that I was interested in trying.
You can order whatever you want. If you want 2 appetizers, if you just want to eat, I think there's usually about 4 appetizers a night. And if you just wanted to make a meal and eat all 4 appetizers and skip the main dish, you could do that. You tell them whatever you want and they'll bring it.
Yep.
So anyway, when we got to French night and we had all the options that Darren was really interested in, he did order the 2 appetizers and then ended up getting a third one as well.
Yep.
So those were the appetizers.
Yep.
And then
what did you get for appetizers?
I think that's the night I got a wedge salad.
Okay.
They had a wedge salad.
Yep.
There that I got. I tended to get more of the salad stuff, and he did other things. He's much more adventurous, really, when it comes to food, like the escargots. I wouldn't be eating that, but he ate that. And he actually liked it.
Those are snails.
I didn't know that they're snails. Okay. Yes, I did. Do you know what calamari are?
I thought they were French onion rings.
No, they're not. That's an old inside joke, though. Do you want to tell them?
No, we'll see.
Okay, sorry, y'all don't get in on that. Okay, so the main dishes, though, for the French night, I got chicken cordon bleu, and that was delicious. Out of everything, that was probably my favorite meal that I had on the ship. And I have a good recipe for chicken cordon bleu, but I have not made it in several years. So I'm going to pull that recipe out, and I'm going to check it out again. And that may be something that I would bring to you in the future. So y'all vote on that if you want to see that.
Yep.
So that's what I got that night. And then tell them what you got.
Yeah, I got a salmon, and I think that was really the only seafood entree that I had all week, which is kind of unusual because I was really wanting to try a bunch of seafood, but there's like a pecan crusted salmon. It was good. I enjoyed it.
But you got a lot of seafood that night with the appetizers too.
Right.
With the calamari and escargot is not necessarily seafood, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Wednesday night.
Yeah. Oh, but let's talk about the dessert.
Okay.
Because we ended up getting the same thing.
Oh, yes.
And that was the creme brulee.
Creme brulee.
Brulee. I'll get it right. And I thought I really enjoyed that. I don't know if you enjoyed it as much as I did.
It's kind of more your thing than mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I did enjoy it. To me, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, y'all are probably going to think I'm crazy, but I'm not a huge fan of the little burnt sugar on top of it. To me, it has a burn taste to it. And this was not a fault of Royal Caribbean. I don't think they did it wrong. I think they did it perfectly, but it's just not to my taste. It's not something I would pick. I did get it that night just because I thought it's something different. I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And I've had it before, but I hadn't had it in a long, long time. And it just kind of confirmed to me that it's not that great. So I kind of took that sugar off the top and I ate the custard underneath. And that was delicious. Yeah. I enjoyed that. Yeah. So anyway, so you loved it. You loved that dessert. And so then the last night, Thursday night,
I had the lamb.
Yes. Oh, yes. You had the lamb.
Yep.
And then I had a turkey dinner. They had a turkey dinner that's kind of, here in America, it's kind of like our Thanksgiving dinner. It had turkey and it had like a sweet potato, not really a souffle, but kind of a sweet potato mash with the turkey. And it had this little medallion, a little round medallion of dressing. Y'all call it stuffing in the North, I think, but we call it dressing here in the South. So I had a little medallion of some dressing. I had some cranberry sauce on it. A little bit of corn chutney was on that plate too, I think. So it was kind of like your Thanksgiving dinner. And so I wanted to try their take on that. And it was good. I mean, it was very good. So. Yeah.
And then the lamb was fantastic, but they served it with mint jelly. And I don't think I've ever had mint jelly before. I've had lamb several times, but it's usually like with the chimichurri.
Oh yes,
sauce,
chimichurri,
chimichurri, and which I really like it that way. But that mint jelly, I mean, it tasted fine, but I just did not like it with the lamb because it was like eating scope. Scope Jello.
Too minty. Huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you would have rather had something like a chimichurri with the lamb. Absolutely. I wonder if they had that. I don't know. Have asked for it.
Anyway, but it was good. I mean, so I didn't eat the mint jelly, but I ate.
But you loved the lamb.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then dessert that night, you got something. It was actually very similar to creme brulee.
Yeah, they called it like a Spanish custard or a Spanish something or other, and it was very similar to a creme brulee.
Right. It was.
Yeah, it wasn't flan. But it was good.
Yeah. So anyway, so those were our 4 main meals in the dining room. So the first night, again, prime rib and the southern fried chicken with the hot honey sauce. And then night 2 was the Caribbean night with the jerk pork chop or the Caribbean chicken. The next night was the French night. So you got the crusted salmon and I got cordon bleu, chicken cordon bleu.
Yep.
And then the last night was the Thanksgiving type dinner, the turkey, the sweet potatoes, and then you got the lamb last night. So those are the dinners that we want you to vote on. which one would you like to see us try to replicate and bring to you in a video soon? So give us a comment below. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you'll be sure to get the notifications when we put out new videos. And now that we're back from vacation, we're going to be putting out videos a little more often than we have. We've had some things going on the last month or two that have kind of kept us tied up with our time. So apologies for not putting out quite as many videos as we had started a few months ago when we began this channel. But we're getting back into the swing of things and plan to do that, at least have a couple new videos each week. So vote on it below in the comments. Let us know which dinner you would like to see us replicate. And we will hop on that and hopefully bring it to you soon. Anyway, we loved our cruise. We highly recommend Royal Caribbean. We highly recommend any of the food, really, that we had. I mean, it was all delicious.
If you didn't talk so much, you'd actually enjoy your breakfast.
I know. Maybe I'll get to eat now that we're done, right? Well, thanks so much for joining us here at Mary Catherine's Table today. This video is a little bit different, but we had fun talking about it, and maybe you'll have fun listening to us. We're really just a couple of old, boring married people that enjoyed celebrating our 35th anniversary last week. So that's a little snippet of what we did, and thanks for joining along on this video with us. So remember to find somebody today who needs a little bit of kindness and give them some of yours.